Good morning, students. Hope you all are well. So, today we are going to discuss the next chapter, that is the transpiration. So, transpiration is one of the most important process or the most important physiological process in plants. So, you know that all the plants that absorb water continuously from the soil with the help of roots, and after that this water conducted in the upper portion or the upward portion through the stem and is distributed to all the parts of the plants, mainly in the leaves. But only a very small quantity of this water, and almost about 2% is used by plant in the process of photosynthesis and the other activities. So what they will do with the rest of the water? So the rest of it is lost to the atmosphere as water vapor. Okay, as a result of transpiration, and they release this water through the leaves, and in the leaves there are stomata, some small openings are there. So with that they can release the water vapor. So let's see what is the definition of transpiration. So transpiration is the process of loss of water in the form of water vapor from the leaves and other aerial parts of the plant. Okay, so the first demonstration of transpiration. So it is the first experiment to show transpiration. So what we have to take? We have to take a medium sized well water potted plant, and then we have to cover the plant with a transparent polythene bag or plastic bag, and we have to tie the mouth of the bag at the base of the stem, as you can see in this figure. So after that we have to keep the plant in sunlight for at least 2 to 3 hours, and after that you will see that drops of water will appear in the inside the plastic bag. Okay, so this is due to the saturation of water vapor given out from the leaves. Okay, then what you have to do, that a similar empty polythene bag in its mouth tied and kept it into the sunlight will show no drops of water, obviously, because no plant is there. So this is the control to show that the plants transpire water in the form of water vapor. Okay, and after that if we tested it with the dry cobalt chloride, if we will give dry cobalt chloride inside the plastic bag, the drops will be confirmed as the water only will turns into pink. Okay, means if the blue paper we will give of blue paper of cobalt chloride we will give, it will convert into pink. As you can see here in setup 1, setup 1 is showing that the small drop of water is there, but no such cobalt chloride is there. Setup B or setup B, there is the cobalt chloride, and also it turns into the pink color. From the blue paper turns into pink, but in the setup C, no plant is there, and we have given the cobalt chloride and no such change is there. Okay, so cobalt chloride paper is an indicator of moisture. When it is dry, then that means no water vapor is there, but when it turns pink, that means water vapor or moisture is there. Next is the potometer method. So potometer is the machine or device that with that we can measure the rate of water intake by the plant, and this water intake is almost equal to the water lost through the transpiration. That means the water intake is the rate of water intake by plant is almost equal to the loss of water through the transpiration. So potometer or Gannon's potometer is the machine through which we can measure the rate of transpiration in plant. So let's see what is it, Gannon's potometer, and how we have to make the experiment. So this figure what is showing, that is actually the Gannon's potometer for measuring the water uptake. Okay, so you have to take a suitable plant, cut with a sharp knife, and we have to fix it in an apparatus as shown in this figure. Here you have see that one twig is there, suitable plant. Okay, so the entire apparatus is filled with water so that no air space is present inside. Entire apparatus is filled with water. Okay, an air bubble is introduced into the horizontal graduated capillary tube, which is dipped into the beaker containing the water. Air bubble, here in this small thin pipe you can see air bubble is introduced. Okay, after that, when transpiration proceeds, as the water is lost from the twig, what will happen? A suction force is set up which pulls the water from the beaker, and the bubble in the capillary will move along. Okay. The reading on the capillary, here the reading on the capillary tube moves along. The reading on the capillary tube would give the volume of water lost is given in the given time. So the air bubble can be brought back to its original position by releasing some more water from the reservoir into the capillary tube by opening the stopcock. Here is the stopcock. Okay, so the photometer do not measure the water lost during the transpiration, but it measures the water uptake by this plant portion. So some of the water is used by cells to carry out other process, like for example for photosynthesis. Okay. So this setup is Gannon's photometer. It is filled, all the setup are filled with water, and in this small thin portion which is present inside the beaker, some air bubble is introduced into this portion. So when the transpiration process starts, the water will release from the lips. Okay, that means there is a gap, and that develop a suction force, and through the suction force what will happen? If it will make a suction force and pull the air bubble, and air bubble, you can see the air bubble will move inside this thin portion, and they can measure the reading of the air bubble. Next, what are the precautions we have to in use of photometer? Okay, the photometer should be made completely watertight. The twig should be cut obliquely and under water to avoid the suction of an air bubble into the twig, which will stop the absorption of the water into the xylem. Means the twig should be cut obliquely, means they can allow the large surface for water intake for the process of transpiration. And next, what are the limitations of using photometer? It is actually introducing the air bubble is not very easy. Obviously it is a very difficult one, and the twig may not remain fully alive for a long time. And if it will not allow, we cannot do the experiment properly. And any changes in outside air temperature may affect the position of air bubble in that capillary tube.